All right, I'd like to call to order the New Palestine Redevelopment Commission at 6 o'clock on June 4th, 2024, or 25, excuse me. I'd like to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next, can we roll call, please?
Dr. Cleek? Here. Steve Rainey?
Here.
Rachel Strong? Here. Joe Niemeyer?
Here.
Ethan Maple?
Here. All right, thank you. Old business. We have the meetings to approve from our March 19th, 2025 meeting. Has the commission members had a chance to review the minutes? And is there any discussion, any updates?
I'd just like to make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 19th, 2025.
Do we have a second?
I guess I hear, but I'll second.
All right. All those in favor to approve the minutes for March 19th, 2025, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, state nay. All right, the motion carries. Thank you. Next would be new business, and the first topic we have is Blue Sky and Lori Winkler. You'd like to come up and introduce yourself?
Okay, sure. I'm really proud to go with us as well. We're excited to be here. My name is Lori Winkler. I'm with Blue Sky Commerce. We're in Noblesville, have been in business since 2006. Met Jim and Terry not too long ago from a referral, and we started talking about branding. So we work a lot with cities, towns, and really helping from an agency side of things, marketing agency, help build out what your brand, and it's not really just a logo, it's really like, how do you want to show up and appear to your constituents, future constituents, and especially when you're growing, how can we help maybe you set the tone and the narrative versus kind of the community doing it for you. And so that's really where we started that discussion. We work with the city of Noblesville. We do, for the economic development team and the mayor's office, we do their direct communications, promotion, and then we also help, we're actually, stay tuned, but as of today, it just went out, relaunched a new brand initiative for their economic development team. So that went live today. So what we talked about is really the opportunity to take a look and bring stakeholders in. I think this is a good time from the work that you've done from your planning to really say, hey, let's get some input from stakeholders, whether it's this team and then business individuals as well as families even, and pull together a small group of stakeholders and do some discovery type workshops where we would do 2 different workshops basically to get that kind of input, understand kind of the story. And I think that's the biggest piece that we're looking at is we, New Pal is such a, it's such a great community, but I think there's not that story of education, all the things that this town brings to potential and current residents. It's kind of an untapped story, really, and I think it's a great time to get some of that feedback and be able to promote the story and start that process of letting people understand who this community is. And I always say with branding, people, I mentioned it's not a logo. People always come up and they say, oh, we're getting a logo. And it's like, no, it's a promise. And so anytime somebody hears New Pal, they know exactly what they're getting every time, whether they come here, whether they know somebody who lives here and they visit, when new pets, they understand the community, it's a beautiful community where really there's so much pride here, even from some of the legwork we've done, the research we've done. It's an honor to tell that story. So part of telling the story is Rob sitting here. This is Rob DeVoe, and he will never brag about himself, but he is an exceptional videographer, storyteller. He's on our team. Rob and I have worked together for
We don't
20
We don't have to do the math, but it's somewhere around 20 years.
Yeah, we tried that.
But I think you guys have a great story, and there's the wellness and corporate, but there's people like just from the community, and a spread of those stories when they're put together in one piece, I think could really help us tell. There's so much the community can say about each other, but it's like that video can really help push, just like let people know, it expedites things, I guess you could say. And the thing we were telling everybody is, when I gather all that footage and do different interviews and different B-roll around the town and everything, consider them assets. So yes, there's a bigger piece, and that helps kind of spread the word to whoever ends up on a website or whatever. But there's all those little elements that maybe don't even get in the main piece, and there's still tools for you guys where you can use them for social and let people know other things. There's always something that hits the floor. So when you tell the story, there's all these other, I gotta let that little gem go. That doesn't mean it's gone. And so that's where all those, because it used to be you'd have to use like a 4-minute piece or an 8-minute piece is another thing. But anymore, people do, if it's compelling, they'll still watch a 4 or 5-minute piece and it tells a story and it's great. But those little short pieces have more value than ever just because of social and things like that.
Yeah.
So our first, what we proposed was to do the workshops, which in part is also going to help us formulate any kind of collateral, video, etc. Do the initial workshop, and then our team will work up some different messaging, kind of the narrative, the tone, the look, the feel. How do we bring this town to life to everybody? We'll work with the committee to hash through here's some of our options. That same stakeholder group would be imperative. We'd almost serve the second one as more of a focus group. Here's what we think. Here's some different options. Let's get the good, the bad. Does this resonate? So it's not just a couple people making a decision in a silo. It's truly bringing different people that impact the community to help us understand and create the brand and the story that is here. As part of that, then Rob mentioned a 3 to 4 minute video. So we would do it interviewing like 5 different individuals, probably somebody who's been here a long time, and stable in the community, and passionate about the community, some younger family maybe who has just moved here, business, and then obviously volunteers and members of the town council, the town committee. And I think that's an important piece because it's not us telling the story, it's not when we interview them.
Yeah, they tell the story. And there's always somebody knows somebody that's like, almost like a story, and they know all the little cool gems that I need to kind of get that little pop. I'm sure there's somebody knows somebody, I know that.
And I think it's important, and I'll cite Noblesville, I guess, for this one. They wanted to get out of maybe the small town feel and really position themselves as big growth, and that's great. What I like about Newtown is I think it's more about the community and not necessarily where this high growth. It's more of this community is about people, and it's positioned for growth. But the story has to start with people from past to now to future and kind of what that looks like. So that video is a key element of what we proposed. And then also, not that we would redo the website, because I know there's been a lot of work on that, but when you look at the website today, it's very government text heavy. So our job would be, how can we bring that story to life? So you'll have a video, but it is about, let's put some photos up there. It's not, let's change, revamp your site. Here's how to
Accentuate.
accentuate and bring that brand, at least initially, out to the public. And
Well,
then,
the discoveries are fascinating, even for the people that are participating, because like we're discovering like where we want to take it and how you want us to craft it. But even the people that are in the room are like, there's little things that they discover, like, hey, I didn't know that was as important as it is to our community. You know, and you hear them talk about it, and you can, and they might not even identify it as it's happening, but it's like, hey, we really talked a lot about this. And it's like, that might be something for us because we're new and clean and we don't know what's what yet. It's like, we like that, and if you like that, let's make that part of the story.
yeah, and I think the end goal, and we see it time and time again, is when you see those photos of real people, when you see footage of things happening, and when you hear people telling the story, it creates a lot of pride, I think, in the community. And that's the goal, is, you know, let's showcase who we are, but let's, this town is very proud, so let's allow them to have the story to take out and tell other people and feel good about where they live as well. So that project is really, we're looking at about 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks probably, worth of work. And from there, you get all the assets. We don't own anything, so the footage, all of that becomes yours. We'll design some graphics for social, just like here's how you can carry that message out. Here's some graphics that look good. We don't have to execute it, it's for everybody else, but these are good assets to make sure that that look and feel and tone carries through. So basically, we'll put the brand package together, the video together, do like a web design of what that could look like, so that
Me and Lily don't do that work. We have other people on the team that are much better at that. Yeah.
However, then it would give your third-party group that you use for the website, give them kind of here's what we would like it to look like, and carry it from there. So,
Okay. And you kind of, you have like a library?
Yeah.
Or we've had some footage.
yes,
We love getting that kind of footage that comes from a game, say, for example, or something like that, or people that have been at like the Summerfest and they've got pictures that I didn't get. I'm going to come to Summerfest hopefully this time, but like that kind of stuff, we kind of got on a little discovery moment the other day where it's like there are assets like that out there that are valuable assets, and we call it a asset library. So if we have a customer drive on like Google Drive, we would have a new PAL, and little by little, then you can control access, so not everyone just goes in there and does stuff. But we welcome those assets. Those are great. And like if you're working with someone else and they need logos, you can say permission granted. There's the logos, and these are approved pictures, that kind of thing.
yeah, we're a big fan of organization and kind of helping organize so it makes carrying the brand out easy. And it also makes it easy so you can go ask and say, hey, if you have footage, if you have pictures, send them to us. Because obviously we won't be able to capture everything, but there's probably things that you'll know, hey, we've got, or we can go out and get this for you. And then we just upload it, we tag everything in the library. So it might be Summerfest and every photo and footage from Summerfest is there. So basically we hand that asset library over to you organized, and you have a way then to carry that forward. So our goal is to not strap you forever. It's to kind of set the tone, build it, and then teach or create tools that allow you guys to continue it. So that's,
Can I give a little council context?
Mhm.
Because Lori came to our last council meeting and presented her vision for this type of partnership and what it means to tell the story. And as the council was discussing it at our last meeting, we asked the question, is this a project RDC could fund? And our legal says absolutely, it's a project that fits under the RDC category if RDC would choose to do so.
Okay.
It's an investment of about 20 to 25, probably, maybe, kind of somewhere around there, depending on what we get is what we're looking at. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. 25, so that it gives a little bit of wiggle room. If there's another interview or we say, hey, this is a great opportunity, can you do another day of shoot? There's some flexibility in there. Just so that, we always try and say, do that just so that you're not going back and asking for other money. But our goal would be to work under the budget. If we have to.
The township has suggested some partnership associated with that. Do you want to speak to that at all? Do you have any ideas, or is it just, hey, we want to be a partner to that?
I like to be a partner in that. We mentioned, they had brought up public safety.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fire department. We still have the original fire department. Yeah. So we have that piece, we have the 88 acre park over on 700 West that is not in the town, but is really part of it. And I would be glad to help out with some project. I think Hancock Health is wanting to partner up as well.
I think that would be great, and I certainly want to make sure we emphasize the schools. I think anytime we can accentuate our schools with RDC funds is a win around the board. So that the council kind of has said, hey, let's see if RDC would be willing to take up this project because we think it's very valuable to our town.
Discussion? Thoughts? Bill?
I'm in favor of it, but I also am cognizant of the cost. So, maybe we need to reach out to the township, to the wellness center, and see what kind of contribution, just so that we know what's the expectation from the RDC.
Do we know our current balance? Do you have that, Yvonne?
I mean, you get $50,000 a year, plus a few other little bits. That's your, basically, off your budget is essentially $50,000.
And we haven't even put any sidewalks in yet.
I was gonna say, my goal is to have sidewalks from town limit to town limit, and we're not there yet.
All of your parking, parties would all chip in certain chunks of money and say if I put in not 5,000 is unreachable for some groups. I think that, with the school and the township and it's happening. So maybe the library.
I actually don't. I think, and this is my opinion on RDC. I think RDC money is. I don't think the schools need to add to it for us to accentuate them. Our RDC is money that is a good partnership, or should be a good partnership for the schools. So the ways that we can use RDC funds to support our schools, I'm all in favor of. I don't know if the township has money budgeted or set aside for any type of this project.
I guess.
Do you have a guess at how much? You want to pay the whole cost,
I
Jason?
mean, we've been pretty transparent in terms of the cost. So
One of my biggest what they're going to. I know I can easily contribute $5,000.
who'd you hear? Jim told you 5.
From
Hancock Health.
How much?
if
5 from Hancock Health.
if Hancock,
hearsay.
if because there's no representatives present, if they were able to pitch in 5 and the township could pitch in 5, and if the request is would the RDC pitch in 15 to make the project go, in my opinion, I would say certainly yes.
I like that.
Rachel? Thoughts?
I'm good with that as well.
I'm as well.
Doctor, please, what do you think? And we're not asking the school for money. Let's start with that. Make sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you not asking the schools for money. So I appreciate that. Obviously, I'm not a voting member, so I don't know that I have a say, but
You
anytime
have
that
an
we
opinion
can.
in that,
Oh,
and we
You'd
want
like
your
your
opinion.
opinion.
I always have. An opinion.
Please share that with us.
Any way that we can elevate this town, I think is a great thing. And if there's any way that its schools can help, we can help elevate, because of course, I've got all these ideas on my mind for school, but anyway, that those two can blend or mesh, or we can help. We are a partner in this community, and we need each other. So I support that. I think it's a good idea.
You think you all would be willing to share whatever video library you guys have at this point?
I think it's probably pretty random what we have, but we can see maybe what we want, because we have different people who take photos of different things too. So even
And I think you have some trophies I'd like to shoot.
we have a lot of
Yeah,
trophies.
I would
We're
love
not done
a,
yet.
I would love a fantastic
gonna say-
touchdown
Seasons
that's
aren't over
caught
yet.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I know we have some touchdown footage somewhere.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yeah.
Got that 99-yarder.
That's right.
Usually, right, and we don't even, when we do manner style, we don't ask people to read a script or a prompter, but we try and help guide what we're trying to get from them.
Mhm.
And I think when we do that, that's when we start looking at what footage would support these types of conversations.
Then I can
Start
help you
putting
find
lists
it.
together of, here's what we're looking for, and that would probably help you say, do we have any of that?
I would know who to talk to.
And I would recommend a video of us hosting the 2025 softball state championship.
That's right.
Let's,
Yes, it's
let's see-
coming.
let's
One
make
step
that happen.
closer.
It's
Mhm.
coming.
Well, and I think that Dr. Pleak is being very modest because, one of the biggest assets that the community has are our schools.
100%.
And, there are many, many, many families, including mine 36 years ago. We moved to New Palestine because of the schools. And it's just a testament that, all three of our children have stayed in the community, adult children, because they want their children to grow up in the same community, the same strong quality schools. So, we do have so many great pieces, the public safety with, and that's the fire department, the police department, the park, the wellness center. We have a lot of good things that we can accentuate. So, but, and having some contributions from others, if there's that commitment, then I'm 100%.
Be careful how well you articulate that, you might end up in front of the camera.
So you think the $5,000 is not out of the realm of the possibility from the township?
I can make that decision.
Okay.
I don't need
I'm sure. God bless you.
So,
Let's just say
Well, then we would like to recommend. We would like, see, that's, no, I understand. You just said you got money. I don't know. If you got 5,000, if you got 50,000 money, we could use some sidewalks. Okay.
But it's a good investment.
I think so. All right, so I'm not sure where we handle, what we do with this. Is this something that we need to vote on, or is this something that we
I think we need-
agreed and we wait now for?
I think we can approve, I would suggest approve 15,000, and that way we can work with the other entities. So when they get to the point where they can approve that, we can start moving along in this project.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that the redevelopment commission contribute $15,000 for the marketing plan with Blue Sky.
I will second that motion.
All right. All in favor, state aye.
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 Opposed, state nay. All right, motion carries.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank
guys.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Excited.
All right, good discussion. I like that. The next item on our list, or agenda, excuse me, is the roundabout landscaping. Jim's not here to bring his proposal, but Terry has brought an option very or has an option that would include, let me go back to what Jim was looking at. So it was identical to what the landscape design at Hancock Health, several varieties of grasses, daylilies, et cetera, designed to be able to string strands of lights on flagpoles during the Christmas time or Christmas holidays. would require maintenance throughout the season, not much green during the winter season. And the quote on that was $13,494.50. Terry has done some work, some legwork on this, and has come up with another proposal or option, if you will, and that would be 3 cedar trees, and we could decorate those cedar trees to be more of as part of the Christmas holidays. Dogwoods, junipers, daylilies. Require less labor. It's going to be green all year round. Reduces speed and increases safety. And the quote on that is $13,699.59, which is what, $205.19 delta.
Does that include, or would that involve removing the flag?
No, Michael, they, and the figures, I asked, their height wouldn't exceed 5 foot.
That'd be some pretty tall cedars.
See, it has the second option here, the cost breakdown.
This is our roundabout right there, 500 and
300. That's what I was asking too.
My
Okay.
question is the town then responsible for the soon-to-be roundabout and then the school roundabout? Like, are we on do we flip the bill for those decor as well? Anybody know? I wish Jim was here.
We'd have to ask Ryan.
Ryan would know.
Ryan would know.
Other roundabouts are all paid for, built by the county, so the county is responsible for having it there. I think there are plans for decoration on some of those. Now, are we supposed to pitch in some money? Maybe, but I haven't heard that specifically, but it's the county who owns it.
As far as the school one, I was asked today to attend a meeting here in Tell Hall on July 9th at 9 o'clock in the morning with some people from Chamber and the county to talk about the roundabout and the design that will go for the one to the school. And believe they're, I don't know, again, not asking us for funds, but I believe there are others that maybe some different entities are going to put funds together to help the school one.
Is there a fire breathing dragon?
We're working on that, or could it be mist and looks like fire?
I
So
love it. Just make it look prettier than Greenfields. It's ugly.
Yeah,
I
we
said
need
that
to love
recorded,
it.
is it? Yeah, we already said that, and taller.
The only reason I bring it up is if we look at the roundabout at 200 and 600, do we want the ones on, because there's a roundabout on each 4 of that block, right? Eventually.
Okay.
Do we want some continuity between those 4? And if so, what does that look like and feel like on our one that we're responsible for? How can we continue the process on this one so that it brings it together? Because even though those are not in town limit, it certainly does represent the town.
Terry, will trees obstruct view?
So I have had that discussion as well, and I went to several different cities around, and most of them, I would say 80% have tall trees.
It's kind of the point, isn't it? If you can't see it, then you have to slow down.
If you want to look straight. then
Or
you
get
have to
hit.
look left. So it slows you down because you have to look left, and I don't think there's any point for running through.
Unless you're going for it. Unless you're going for it.
Stay off the roads when he's
I think to the left on that first road there, to see if you can go for it. The one on the other side is not in question.
Well, so let me ask this, because I see this photo, has low to the ground grasses, some greenery. Could we get some photos of one that has trees, just so that we have something to kind of compare it to?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you have, if you have that'd be great.
Do we have a cost associated with something if we did it similar to the one at 200 and 600?
Yeah, we didn't do that.
I think that Rubel did that. We could ask Ryan that. And I don't know that we have to make a decision
No.
this evening, but good questions and good discussion, because And I like the idea of having some elements that are the same.
I like the roundabout at Mount Comfort and
Yeah.
it green like all year round.
Is that the one with the deer too, or is that,
No, that's
The one,
200. I think.
the one with the deer is the one I'm referring to.
Yeah,
okay.
northwest corner. Of school.
Well, and I know that the thought process, I think, was that if you're close to a school, then you try to find something that aligns with the mascot, as long as it looks nice. And the deer one looks fantastic.
And as far as continuity, I think.
It's by Doe Creek.
It's a throwback.
Yeah.
I heard a coyote is going in.
Where?
At
At
this
300.
roundabout.
Which one? The one at 600 and 300?
Yeah,
It's by Sugar
that's
Creek.
what I heard too.
Okay.
Ooh, let's pick an animal. What's our town spirit animal?
Coyote.
We're already getting a coyote.
And
Yeah.
an anaconda.
Wow.
Crocodiles all around.
Or a food truck.
Speaking of. Yeah, food truck.
That's bad.
We saw it yesterday.
I like, to be honest with you, I like this idea of coyote, deer, whatever other animals we may. I just kind of like the feel that they're all in line.
Cool.
Yeah.
You have an answer for me?
The coyotes are going at 6 West, 3 South. Picture of them, I looked them up.
Do you know how much that design costs? Because we're talking about the 300, 500 roundabout, and I'm suggesting that maybe we find some continuity between those that the county's putting in and the one that we design.
I do have those numbers, I just don't have them with me. I do know, I'm thinking it was around 20 to 25 for design and everything for the one at 6 West and 2 South, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I can get you exact numbers.
Okay.
Because I have those emails on a different email chain.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that we can come up with something that looks really nice. And, even if spending any money detracts from sidewalks, it's still a good investment,
The roundabout kind of has a sidewalk.
but only for a little area.
Well, you can just keep going around in a circle. It is the.
Vanity.
Oh my.
As soon as we protect folks west of McDonald's, then I
To the
will
library.
never mention sidewalks again.
Yeah. To the library.
Fair enough.
To Needlers, to the wellness center. I mean, from one end of town to the other would be phenomenal. And this end of town is covered, at least on Main Street. But I am really, 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 really concerned that whether you're on bicycle or foot, if you want to go west of McDonald's, your only course of travel is between the guardrails. And if it's raining, fogging, anything, if somebody's texting, that's just a risk that I would someday, I hope that the RDC has the funds to put those sidewalks in. And that doesn't mean that we can't do worthwhile projects until that day, because we're talking about 2 tonight that make perfect sense.
Agree. And I would be okay spending the extra money to bring our roundabout in continuity with the others to bring that all together. That's where I am on it.
Okay. So maybe we need to get a couple ideas, renderings, proposals, just so we can see, even if it's a sketch or maybe if there's something somewhere that is similar, and just so we know, can visualize it.
Is it 300 and 600 going to match the 200 and 600 with the exception of the coyote?
It's gonna be similar. I think we're planning on using the stones that we have at our shop. Incorporate that, just like we did at 2 and South. We do have a limited number of those left, so I encourage you, if you do want to do this, sooner the better. Not to say they're gonna disappear tomorrow.
Right.
But there are other projects going on. But
Okay.
They will look similar. I think there's gonna be a giant rock that everybody knows about, maybe incorporated in there.
Perfect.
And that's a big rock.
And it's a big rock.
Yeah, I'm very jealous of that big rock.
Kind of scary.
All right, so where do we go? What's next steps? What's the recommendation?
On this item, I think I would make a motion to table it until we have renderings. And I'm sensing, I'm not trying to speak for anybody else, that we're all in favor of it. Let's just get an idea so we can see the differences. So we
And know
can
the
move
cost.
forward. And the cost. The cost is always important.
And who's gonna pull that together?
Jim,
Jim?
because he's not here.
I also nominate Ryan. Because he has some of that information already.
I will be happy to share the information. Okay.
I'll make a motion that Jim look further into roundabout design and to get us some renderings, and he can talk to Ryan and Terry and everybody else, but let's make him the point person, because that'll teach him for not being here. Although I know he's
I'll
at a
second.
training program, so
Training on behalf of the town.
that's okay, but he's not here. So that's my motion.
We're a feisty group tonight.
We are, aren't we? All right,
I second the table motion.
Okay.
all right.
Well, and the appointment of a
Sure, and the appointment
representative
of-
to gather information.
I'll throw Jim under the table. Absolutely.
Okay. All in favor, state aye.
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 Motion passes. Very good.
You can tell him I nominated him. That's fine. It's fair.
All right, last item on our agenda is the past due letter to the local tax entities. And we have, those were copied in our, that Brenda sent out. I don't know if you've had a chance to review those. They do go out to,
Letter
Yeah.
sent every year.
correct,
to the-
correct.
to the overlapping units, basically saying, yeah, we're aware that if we don't have use for the money, that we need to pass it through, but currently we don't have any extra money that we're not using. There was also a sample resolution that isn't something that would replace the letter. That's kind of a misnomer in the agenda. If you want to, you can state that intent to pass through monies that you're not using via a resolution. It is not necessary. It is something that was talked about online on one of my court treasurer chat things. And I thought I'd just pass it on to you. If you want to go that way, that's just a sample. I think it was for the town, Jamestown or something. But it's not a have to kind of thing. And the letters, we definitely are required to send.
Thank you. One problem, once you adopt an ordinance, you adopt a resolution, you start establishing criteria that you have to follow in the future, in some degree or to a certain degree, it's best to have less regulation. So personally, I don't want the resolution unless it's required, but I think we should definitely make a motion to continue sending the letters that are, because we've done it every year, and that we continue to do so unless the circumstances change. But the letters as presented in the backup materials should absolutely be sent, in my opinion.
I think they have to
I
be
agree.
by law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would agree that we should do what the law says.
And not create extra rules. for
And not
ourselves.
create extra law.
Please, please do. All right, so can I have a motion that we will provide the letter, but not
So moved.
provide a resolution, and then we get the letter sent out.
And I will second Rachel's motion.
All right, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed state nay. All right, motion carries. Any other topics among the council members they would like to bring up?
Just before we adjourn, can we discuss, just so that we know, when is our next meeting?
Thank you
This
for
pop-up.
reminding me of
September.
that.
By the way, if you want to stay, Mark Looney is absent. I didn't, just to keep that in there. I I have
next meeting
September
September 3rd.
Yeah.
And then November 5th.
But we're gonna change the time.
And those were scheduled to be at 6:30. We would like to change those to start at 6 o'clock, so we're more consistent. And like today's meeting, I didn't think would go this long, but obviously if we would start 6:30 and we had this kind of discussions, we'd be delaying the town council meeting. So I think that gives us a little bit more flexibility in that regards. Mhm. So we're good with that, 6:30? Okay,
No,
or
6
6 o'clock.
o'clock.
Thank you.
6 o'clock, September 3rd.
Mr.
Done.
Hartley has a comment.
Yes.
I just want to let the RDC know that I set up an account through PennDOT, through the EPS system, so electronic permit system. I worked with Jim on getting the artwork design for the traffic signal box at 5 West and 52. And he got me the artwork, so I submitted it through PennDOT for some of my contacts that I had. It's in process of going to their legal and getting approved now, so as soon as it gets approved, Jim's got his finger in the butt to call them and just tell them to print it. As soon as it gets through their legal, she said it takes about 3 weeks, and I've heard this about a week and a half ago. They already have scheduled to do the installation June 23rd to 27th. So I'm hoping that we get everything back and we get that done before.
Great.
But it is still legal, just waiting on the permit.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Very
did-
good. Thank you.
I did see the others this week. They look very nice.
All right.
And Terry, thank you for working on the roundabouts with Jim. Appreciate it.
That's why he's not here.
That's why
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn the New Palestine Redevelopment Commission?
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, state no. Nay. All right. Motion carries. Thank you very much.